At this point in your career, what is training camp like for you?
You know, I think it's mixed emotions. I think, you know, coming down here and leaving your family and all that is obviously tough, and that gets harder as the years goes on. But once you get down here and you get into a rhythm, you know, it's still something I enjoy doing. It's fun being around the guys. It's fun kind of getting everybody back ready for a new season. You know, I still enjoy playing. I still enjoy, you know, the preparation that goes into it. So it's, I think once you get down here and you kind of get settled into camp and get the first couple days of, you know, moving in and meetings and kind of just getting your routine down, once you kind of settle in, it's kind of fine.
Have you had a chance to give Butler any word of encouragement since the accusation has came up?
Nah, that was the first any of us heard. We'll let all that play out.
Hey Greg, would the players pretty much be unanimous in their thoughts on building a facility closer to Charlotte and not coming down here anymore? Or do you still kind of see the value in having 13, 14 practices here on campus?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, we don't know any of this stuff. We don't know anything more than anybody else does. I think more so than just a couple weeks of training camp. I think having a facility with an indoor and some of the other things that around the league other teams have for during the season would be you know, to me a bigger deal. You know, having somewhere to practice inside and stuff like that I think would be great. But you know, again, I don't really know a whole lot about it, any of the specifics. So we've done just fine with what we've had, and if we can get improvements, that'd be great.
Did you drive in with Ryan?
I did.
Do you think this is his last one?
I don't know. You can he's somewhere. You can ask him that.
What do you think? Obviously, last year, developing a rhythm. You've had a rhythm with Cam Newton for years, but with him rehabbing that shoulder last year, and then the difference it makes getting out in Baltimore, getting the rapport with all the new guys, the new faces. What differences did you see? How can you tell how good he's feeling? And it seems like it's probably pretty obvious that when he's feeling good.
I think so. I think we all saw how he was feeling. You know, I think obviously it's been a whole different offseason as far as that goes with him specifically, just the whole team specifically, with just him being out there. You know, I think that's an understatement of the year to say him being out there makes a big difference, right? You know, both just from his presence, obviously his play, you know, all of those things. So having a full OTAs and mini camp with him, and then, you know, getting some work done this summer and just seeing how good he's feeling and moving around and training and throwing a lot, you know, and now being able to do a full training camp, you know, those are all, you know, stark contrast from where we were at this point last year. So one would hope that that's a good sign for us, but you know, we'll see.
We got to see a little bit closer of a look through different players taking over the Instagram stories and whatnot about what some of those workouts look like, about being at Sagamore Farms and kind of having that experience at the Under Armour facilities. And I'm wondering if you can share any details about how special that experience is, kind of a miniature summer camp, receiver summer camp for you guys.
It's a really cool setup. Cam does a great job. You know, the hospitality is great. Staying at that farm is really cool. It's a unique place. I think guys just enjoy for a few days before we come to camp, just kind of getting together and getting some good work in, work out a couple times throughout the course of the day. Nothing earth-shattering, nothing that's any different than anybody else around the league is doing, either separate or together. But yeah, I think it's a pretty cool place. Cam does a great job. He plays a good host, and we get good work done when we're all together. Yeah.
I know the goal every year is that. What were you thinking exactly about how Cam's kind of showing you he's ready?
I think his training. I think we got a good insight into how his training went. I think we kind of gave us a little inside look into all that. I'm sure all of you follow him, as we all do, and it's just nice to see him, you know, be Cam and have a lot of life and have a lot of energy and enthusiasm. I think when he's like that, he's at his best.
What advice do you have for rookies that are, you know, you've been through many training camps here at Wofford, for a rookie that's coming in for their first time, what advice would you give them?
I told Ian when I saw him up in Baltimore, I just told Ian, you know, just take care of all the stuff outside of football. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, good plays, bad plays. Let football be your biggest worry. You know, don't make sure you handle whatever you have to do off the field. Get here on time, get settled into camp, figure out where you're going, figure out what time you got to be there. All those little things that they taught you in school, just apply those here, and that way your biggest worry is practice. And if you can keep football your biggest concern, it just allows the whole rookie transition to be a lot better.
Greg,
in my experience.
Understanding, you know, winning a Super Bowl is a goal every year, but I mean, there's a lot of guys here that are possibly in their last year or nearing the very end. I mean, is there a sense of urgency to kind of get one before that window maybe closes?
Yeah, I mean, you know, get one for them, but I want to get one for myself too. I'll be honest with you. You know, I think, you know, coming so close a few years ago and realizing just how hard it is to get there and fall short, I think adds to that urgency. You know, a lot of us have been playing this game a long time. You know, there's no guarantees on anything, so you got to take advantage of when you can. And every year, not all rosters are created equal, not all circumstances are created equal. And when your opportunities come, you got to be ready to strike, because there's no telling how many more years go by until you get another one. So I think every year there has to be that urgency, because I don't think any of us can predict when that year is going to happen. I think that's just the nature and kind of beauty of the NFL is, you know, sometimes teams surprise you, and the teams that you have high expectations for disappoint you. I think that's kind of a yearly tradition, and you know, we hope to be that team that's kind of rising, and we'll see.
When you look around this division, how do you think you guys stack up, division-wise specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any mystery that it's the toughest division in the league. You know, so of our 16 games, 6 of them we know are going to be really tough. I think that's what's unique about our division versus some of the other divisions around the league of some other perennial playoff teams, and the fact that we've been able to be a perennial playoff team out of this division, I think speaks volumes to what we've been able to do around here the last handful of years, and that's going to be no different this year. You know, there's only a handful, you know, not many divisions that have 4 quarterbacks. You know, we're one of those divisions that has 4 premier guys, offenses that are prolific, great defenses. Kind of, we've seen the last couple years in Atlanta and New Orleans, kind of an influx of young defensive players that they've been able to add through the draft. So it's a very competitive division. There's no that's not a secret to anybody, but I think you know, we've held our own as well as anybody, and we don't expect that to be different this year, but we understand that challenge is real.
All right, thanks.
All right, guys, thanks.